Hi, this is Vishawn Borich from Team Tough, and here I am with my sons, Ty and Jack. And we were just having a discussion, and we thought it would be a great opportunity for a video. And the discussion was, can somebody make you angry? Or can somebody make you happy? So I'm going to pass it to Ty really quick and let him kind of answer that question. So Ty, what do you think about that? Can somebody make you angry?
Truth is no. Typically, when let's say you're on the bus and someone's bullying you and you're getting angry at them, and then you say, "You made me angry." You're allowing them. You're allowing them to make you angry. Once you realize that that they're not the ones that control you. You control yourself. You control if you get angry or not. When they make you angry, you're just giving them permission pass to make you angry.
That's a really good point. Jack, so what about happy? Can people make you happy, or is that a choice that you have in your life?
Well, it's typically just something that you want, that you like when you win, or when you beat someone, or you're watching a game and you're rooting for a side, like at football, and the side that you're rooting for wins. That it makes you happy.
Right, but can somebody take away your happiness? Like if somebody's coming after you or they're saying mean things to you, can they take away your happiness, or is that a choice that you have?
It's a choice that you can take, or just keep on being happy as you are.
That's great. So I hope you guys got that. But basically what we were talking about, if I can spit it out here, is that when you have emotions, be it anger, sadness, happiness, sure, there's always going to be things that happen that make you fall into that, or the capability to fall into that emotion. But the truth of the matter is you have a choice on how you react to that emotion. Imagine the power that you have if somebody is, yelling and causing you or trying to get you to be angry. If you just smile and just walk away. There's so much power in not reacting to somebody else's energy. And instead, you are deciding to have your own energy and to reflect that back again. It's all about reframing, and there's a lot of ways that you can reframe a situation. For instance, if somebody is really angry and maybe they did something that was very rude, what you can do is look at it from a different perspective. Instead of thinking, hey, this is an attack on me, think of it, maybe that person is having a bad day, or maybe something's going on. So I want to share a little story, and I share this a lot with my karate students because I teach martial arts. Many of you know that. And this is a story that I read a long time ago about a subway. There was a subway bus and or subway car, and there was a bunch of people on it in New York, and they were coming back from work, and it was just packed with people. At one of the stops, a very large, strong-looking man got on with two small children. And when he got on, he went to the corner of the bus and stood and just crossed his arms like this. Well, in the meantime, his two kids decided that they were going to run up and down, and they were going to hit people's newspapers, and finally, they were making so much noise and disruption, one of the kids actually knocked the coffee all over a business person that was on the subway. Well, that business person happened to be a young man that was in the martial arts, and he decided he was going to stand up and take care of the situation right then. And so he stood up, and he yelled at the father at the other end of the subway train, and he said, "Do you want to do something about these kids?" Well, all of a sudden, the father, who was much larger than this businessman, came walking down the subway train, and he confronted the father. And the father and the martial artist businessman, they confronted each other, and a fight was about to break loose. Now, the businessman was very confident. He thought he could win because he was a martial artist. And so he took a stance and was preparing to have a fight. Well, the father was also preparing, was very angry. Right before fists started flying, this little Oriental man that was sitting in the corner of the subway yelled very loudly, and he said, "Hey, stop!" And at first, it kind of startled everybody, and they kind of looked, And the big man, the father, was angry and he was still about to fight. And so once again, the little man yelled at the big man. He says, "Hey, stop, come here." And all of a sudden the big father turned and looked at him. He says, "What do you want?" And the little Oriental man said, come here, much more softly. He says, "Come and sit by me. I want to share something with you." And at first he kind of shrugged his shoulders, and the little man insisted. He says, "Please, please, come and sit. I need to tell you something. It's important." And so finally the big man came, and he sat down in the last remaining seat on the subway next to this little Oriental man who was very old and looked like, like he had been around a long time. And the little Oriental man put his arm on the shoulder of the big man and the big father, and he said to him, he said, "What's wrong? What is it? What's wrong?" And all of a sudden, this big, burly looking father who had 2 kids that were terrified that their dad was about to get in a fight, this big man put his hands on his face, and he looked like he was about to cry. And finally, through sobs, he turned to the little man and he said that they had just come back from the hospital where his wife had passed away from a long battle. And now he had 2 little boys that he was going to be raising on his own. He didn't know how he could even do it. He didn't know how he could manage without his wife. And so the point of the story is there are many different ways to look at how someone is behaving, be it anger, sadness, happiness, joy. And you have to think that everyone is fighting some kind of battle. And the best way that you can react is to, number 1, control your own emotions. And number 2, figure out a way that you can, in fact, help somebody else and spread a little joy. And it turns out that the little Oriental man was a very famous master. And he had, been practicing the martial arts for years. And he knows that the secret to being a martial artist is not being able to fight well. It's being able to use the mental side and to control your emotions and find out the true reason behind somebody's emotions. So I hope that helps you out. I know it's helped a lot of my students, and it's definitely helped my sons, and I appreciate you guys being on the video today. Make it a great day, and we'll see you on the next video.
Bye. Make it great!